sharing it. Okay. So what we were discussing yesterday was we have created a vendor master, and let's continue with the vendor master. We discussed about various screens and the screen feeds that is supposed to be required to be maintained in the vendor master. We will continue creating couple more vendors, and then we will go with the configurations. Okay, so okay, so let me just create another vendor. For example, this time xk01, create vendor master. Okay, so company code is 777, purchase organization is 77C, and then account group is 0001. If you remember your previous vendor master number, you can copy it like what we have done, while creating material master. So you can copy this vendor from company code 777 and purchase organization 77C. Now, when you go and execute it, it will take you to the basic data screen where you can maintain. Let's say I'll add Sundar Rao as the vendor. So let me put his name here. Okay, street and house, you can maintain whatever the numbers you wanted. House number, say 123, postal code 560034, something like this. City, let's say Hyderabad. Okay, and then hit enter. Now you could see here in the address details, even yesterday also we have seen this file, and I'm just once again reiterating you. In the general data, the general data is normally maintained at client level. So what data is meant by general data? You could see here in the general data, we save address information, phone and fax number, and then the control data. So you could see here this is control data. So it means the first screen as well as the second screen data that you maintain here, this is the data which gets stored at client level. That is the 800 client that we log in here, you see here in this level it gets stored. And now you could see here payment transactions which will be saved at company code level, because there are no mandatory fields. When I click enter, it's taking me to the next level. Accounting information, reconciliation account, you can give any reconciliation account which is available here. Like I told you, this is a parallel account which is maintained along with the subledger accounts. Similarly, cash management group, you maintain both of these things. All this data will get, as you can see here in the title bar, accounting, which will get saved at company code level. Okay, and similarly corresponding accounting, etc. All this information is maintained at the company code level. And then the third level is purchasing data, which will get stored mainly at purchasing organization level. But in case if you require, this purchasing data can be further subdivided into 3 more levels, or combination of these 3 levels: vendor subrange, plant, and vendor subrange plant. So what do you mean by vendor subrange? It's nothing but, let's say from which vendor you are, from whichever vendor you are procuring material, if he groups the materials, okay, for his sake of usage, that grouping is called as vendor subrange. Okay, so that grouping is called vendor subrange, and of course that needs to be given by the vendor. if you want to maintain that information in the vendor master record. Then, as you know, plant is plain simple information. There may be plant specific conditions maintained uh, for the vendor, so therefore you require plant, and then the combination of vendor subrange and plant. So in case if we require only when it is required, this can be made, additional levels can be maintained. How to maintain? You could see here under extras, add purchasing data. So if you go into here, you see here data retention at vendor subrange level, data retention at plant level. So you have to check either of these two things or both in case if you wanted to maintain the additional purchasing levels. And then you could specify your plant as 77C like this. Otherwise you don't require. Okay. Otherwise you did not have to specify any data to be maintained over here. So this is how you can just go and create a vendor master. Right. So upon knowing vendor master creation, I want you to take you to the configurations. Okay. And then there is this mass maintenance. Let me tell you this mass maintenance also. There is a transaction code called XK99 by which you can change the vendor master. Okay, so let me just take you logistics, purchasing, or material management, purchasing, master data, vendor. You could see here XK99 mass maintenance of the vendor master. Right, so now I have got two vendors. It could be two vendors or 20 vendors, it doesn't matter. So if I wanted to say change something, let's say purchasing group, I wanted to change purchasing group of the purchasing view. So what you should do is you should go into the respective field like what we have done for the material master. So here also you can just go and make modification. For example, if you know the table name, field name, you can specify it, or else you may have to search for that. LFM1 is the table, and EKGRP, I assume, is the you can see here, this is the purchasing group. If you want to change the purchasing group of all the vendors, right, you just go and execute. Right, so you specify from vendor to vendor or various number of or various vendor IDs over here, or if you want to change all the vendors maintained in 777C purchase organization, you specify it like this and then go with execute. Now you see here 002 is the purchasing group which is there. Now I wanted to maintain a new vendor group, let's say 001. Right, now you select this one and then go with carry out a mass change. By clicking here, this will simply get changed. You see here, it got changed. Now you go and save it. Okay, so this is how you will be changing the vendor masters mass maintenance. Right, then like I told you, vendor subrange which is nothing but the grouping of products from the vendor perspective is called vendor subrange, and they are maintained in the vendor master on the basis of information provided by the vendors. For each vendor subrange, you can maintain a purchasing data like what I have shown you. You have to go into environment or extras, add purchasing data, select the purchasing vendor subrange, and then go and add purchasing data. So that's how you should be maintaining this vendor subrange information. And then there is something called vendor supply region. Okay, although we did discuss it briefly yesterday, I haven't shown you the field. Let me show you the field. XK02, you can go with it, and then company code is 777. I assume it is in the controlling, maybe. Let me check it. X class, no, not here. I think it should be in the purchasing only. Yeah, you see here regions of supply. So when you are in the purchasing view, you have to come to this place. You can specify the country and the region. For which region he can supply the material, you can specify it over here. Based on that, if you are trying to procure a material for a plant other than the region that is specified here, system will throw up a message. That message you can either make it as a warning or an error. Okay, so IN India, let's say, you just go and specify the regions, eastern region, southern region, something like this. Okay, so if you specify like this, you can do so. Right, based on this, in case if you are procuring a material other than this region, system will throw up a message, and again that message can be converted into warning or an error. Okay, so this is how this particular regions for supplier or supplier regions can be used. Okay, now can you just give me a second? My wife is calling.
Excuse me, sir. ఇది ఇందులో ఓన్లీ 2 రీజియన్స్ ఇచ్చారు. వాట్ అబౌట్ సౌత్ నార్త్? సదరన్ రీజియన్, నార్దర్న్ రీజియన్ లేదా? ఇందులో ఓన్లీ 2 రీజియన్స్ ఇచ్చారు.
నేను క్లాస్లో ఉన్నానమ్మా, నేను ఒక గంటకు ఫోన్ చేస్తారా నీకు? సరేనా? బాయ్ నాన్న. మమ్మీకాయే నేను మాట్లాడతాను మళ్ళీ క్లాస్ అయిన తర్వాత. ఓకేనా? రైట్, బాయ్.
సుందరరావు సార్.
ఐఎమ్ సారీ అండి.
హలో.
ఎస్ ఎస్ సార్, చెప్పండి.
ఇది ఓన్లీ 2 రీజియన్స్, వెస్ట్ ఈస్ట్ రీజియన్స్ ఇచ్చారు. సదరన్ రీజియన్, నార్దర్న్ రీజియన్ యాడ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు అందులో మనం
యాడ్ చేసుకోవాలండి.
అది ఎలా యాడ్ చేయాలి?
కాన్ఫిగరేషన్స్ లో ఉంటాయండి. వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ దేర్ నౌ.
ఓకే సార్.
Okay, so now let me take you to configurations. /o SPRO. Let me show you the vendor master configurations. Again, vendor master is being used by various modules. It is logistically placed under logistics general. Under logistics general, you will have a business partner. Under business partner, you will see vendor. Okay, so let's see. You see here business partner. So under business partner, you will have vendors. Under vendors, you have a control. Under control, all the vendor related settings will be there. Okay, to start with, account group. Okay, like I told you yesterday, account group is like, you know what, material type controls for material master. Your account group does same thing for the vendor master. So now you see here I'm going with define account groups. What I'll do is I'll copy this. I'll go copy as, so here I'll maintain it as GNIS Nissan group. Okay, I would just say hit enter, save it. Okay, now let me show you the details. You see here account group will tell you whether the vendor is a one-time vendor or not. Okay, so here this is the control. If you check this indicator, it means the vendor which you are creating using account group GNIS is only a one-time vendor. If you try to use second time, it will give you a message, right? Then you see here number range. Once you assign the number range for the material, sorry, for the vendor, the numbers will be allocated from the number range that you specify. And then you see here various field status are the field screens that is required to be maintained in the vendor master. General data, company code data, purchasing data. Within purchasing data, you can further subdivide it into purchasing subrange, which is nothing but vendor subrange, and purchasing plan. So if you want to maintain various fields, you see here, just double click this general data. Okay, within general data, these are various sections: address, communication, control, payment transactions, contact person. These are nothing but independent views. Okay, let me once again show you. You see here address, control, payment transactions, contact persons, isn't it? These are various controls under general data. So if you want to go with address, you double click it so that you will see what are the fields are required, suppressed, optional, or display. Right? So it's a straightforward thing. So you need not have to focus too much on it. So you get the requirement from the customer which field is to be maintained as mandatory or optional or required. Based on that, you just simply go and maintain this. Okay. For example, let's see purchasing data. I'm going into purchasing. Now currently you see order currency is being maintained as optional. I wanted to make it as required entry. You can do so. Similarly, terms of payment is optional. Okay, terms of payment is optional. If you want it, you can make it as required entry. So like this, you can just go ahead and change this. And then we will discuss about these things little later, partner determination. Okay, so once you have defined your account group, you see here define screen layout specific to purchasing organization. Like what we have seen it in Material Master, you have defined plant specific field selections. So similarly here, because this vendor master is being used by the purchasing organization, you can create your own purchasing organization related screen selections. Okay, for which what we normally do is we copy 0001, go with copy as your plant is 77C, so therefore you make it as 77C here, Control S. Okay, and then you go and choose details. So from here, because it's only a purchasing organization data, you just go and double click it, keep on double clicking it, and then make the modifications according to the requirement of the a particular customer. Okay, so this is straightforward. You need not have to work with field selection groups. You need not have to work with the what you call technical names of the field. It's simply double clicking on it will give you whatever is required or whatever is not required. Okay, then there is something called transaction dependent screen layout. Means what? Even in Material Master also you have seen MM01 relevant screen screen field selections, MM02 relevant screen field selections, etc. So here you can see the same thing. You can do it under transaction code XK01 relevant screen field selections. Okay, XK02 screen field selections like this. You look at here, create vendor centrally, select this, go with details. So here general data, company code data, purchasing data, whichever data you wanted it to be maintained mandatory, you just double click it and keep on moving like this. Right? So can you do this? It's quite easy. You just have to choose a particular field, whatever field you wanted to make it as mandatory. Okay? Ensure that you go into the relevant section, double click it so that the the field catalog in that particular section will get opened, and then you make a certain change for the particular field. Right? The next one is define number ranges for the vendor master records. Now you see here, I am defining number ranges for the vendor masters. Like I said, in the material master, it's going to be the same way that we will be defining numbers here. Go with intervals, right? So here, either you can go with insert interval or you can go with interval and maintain. Okay, if you want to go with that way, of course, number range is the place where you assign it. Okay, let's see. You go with this insert interval. So here you specify the number range which is not overlapping with any one existing numbers. So you choose the number from non-overlapping numbers. I'm sorry. Okay, so from here I can choose the first one if you want it. Okay, so 1012 to 199. Okay, if you want to give this number externally, you check this indicator. If you don't want to give externally, but you want the system to generate this number, you don't check this indicator. Okay, select this because it is not being there, therefore it is being picked up. Okay, 99. You see here, this is my number range, and then you save it. Okay, now once you have this number range maintained, you can go to number range. What's your account group? GTIS. That's what I think I have created, right? So, is it not there? Is it GTS that I have created? Sorry, G Nissan, right? GNIS or something like that. You see here, G Nissan is the group that I have created. So, from here, you add 99 for this particular thing. Right? Now you go and save it. Right? So now, if you can just, after making this assignment, if you can go back into your account group which you have defined in the node 1, your GNIS would have been assigned to 99 here. You see here, 99, it is being added now. Okay. Now if you go and create a vendor with GNIS, then the number range will be defaulted is the one that we have just created. Okay, XK01, have a look at this. Okay, so I'll just go with Sridhar as the vendor. Okay, something like this, Messrs. Sridhar and Co. Okay, so you simply keep on moving, move next. Okay, now once you save it, you would see the new number that we have just created. Now you see. No, I think this is not the number that I have just created. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 0001 that's being there. So that's the reason it did not pick up. I'm sorry. Let me create once again. Okay. So this time I wanted GNIS to be picked up, right? So this is what my number group is, account group is. Okay. So now I'm going to make another entry. Let's say Sudhakar and Co. Right? Keep on entering data for the fields. Okay. and now you save it. So this time it should, you see here 305101. This is the one that I have just configured, isn't it? 305101. In case if you have any doubts, you can just refer back here, change the number for vendor master. You can see here intervals, 99 is your interval. Okay, you see here. So this is how 305101. So this is how it gets triggered. Right? The next one is after maintaining number ranges, change message control for vendor master data. This is not very frequently used one, so you don't require this. And then develop enhancements for vendor master in case if you want to make any modifications using customer exits, baddies, BAPIs, etc. So this is where you require. And then maintain match code. Even this is not done by you, this will be done by the ABAPers. They create the match code object or search help object, and then that is then that is that will be used by the used in the included search help thing, right? So then define field groups for vendor masters. This is not there in use, so you need not have to go with it. Group fields for vendor master, again not there because you are not using groups. You need not have to group any fields. Okay, with this, okay, with only account group, we are closing this one here, and then we have got some more information available for the vendor master in the material management. So let me take you to material management.
Sir, how about define industry? There was one option, right?
We have already defined industry. Manufacturing, we have already defined it, isn't it?
Okay. Can you just once go back to that screen, sir?
Which screen? Vendor master?
Yes, configuration.
Okay.
You said the maintaining match codes defined field are not important, right?
Yeah, because you see these field groups, group fields for vendor master, even if you go into it, you don't see anything because see, material master field selection properties are based on field selection groups, but not the vendor master fields. That's the reason there are no groups. How are you setting vendor master field selections? You simply, you see here, specific to purchase organization, you go there, you double click it, your purchase organization, you double click it, you double click the section. That's how you are doing. There is no field selection groups here. So therefore you don't require to maintain those things.
Okay.
This one you are talking about define industries?
Yes.
Like I said, this is not required for in the vendor master because the industry is defined in the material. This is industry keys. Let's have a look at the notes what has been given here. In this activity, you define the industries you require. You can group together your vendors by industry. So it means what certain vendors who procure or who are used to supply the material to a specific industry sector, they are grouping it. Okay, so this is not a standard functionality or very regular functionality that we use. The industry field is located in the general area of the vendor master. You specify what industry a business belongs to by entering the industry key in its master record. Basically, if you specify an industry key here, which can be used in vendor master, so therefore there will be a link. But again, as far as I have seen, this is not at all required.
Okay.
Alright, so now let's move on to the material management. Under material management purchasing, you have this vendor master once again. taking so much time. You see here under vendor master, define payment terms, check-in code terms, these things we will see as part of purchasing, but this is not the place where I am looking for. There is something called partner determination, for which what I have to do is I have to come to partner determination. You see here, so here under partner roles, partner settings, okay, these things. Like you see, when you create a vendor master or when you change a vendor master or display a vendor master which is just created, okay, so if you go into partner functions, you see here partner functions, these are the ones I am talking about. What partner functions are allowed for the a particular what you call account group. So this is what we are going to work with now. So what am I going to do? You see here there is something called partner roles. What do you mean by partner role? You see here these are the ones that I am discussing about. Okay, so partner role is nothing but based on the a specific activity performed by the partner of the vendor, you will be defining something called the partner roles. So these partner roles are defined in the vendor master in order to designate vendors who perform which task. Some of the partner roles in the standard systems includes vendors, ordering address, goods supplier, invoicing party, then contact person, forwarding agent, so on and so forth. So what am I going to do is, I am going to create my own, the logic. Look at here, define partner roles. All the partner roles would have been there, so you need not have to define any partner roles. Then maintain language dependent key reassignment for partner roles. For example, if you want to specify a particular description of a partner role, goods supplier or invoice presented by in a specific unique language, Spanish language, Mexican language, you can do so. That is meant for this one. Out of this, the most important thing is define permissible partner roles per account group. Means which account group should contain which partner functions. We have defined GNIS. Our GNIS should contain which partner roles. I am going to define it now. Look at this. Define partner roles per account group. I'll just go with it. Okay, so this is my group. I go to selection by content, account group. I specify GNIS. Okay, and then I go with choose. You see there are no entries maintained for GNIS. So therefore, what you can do is, okay, new entries, partner function, I would go with VN. Where is VN? VN here. Partner group GNIS. Okay, so here VN, sorry, GS, goods supplier I wanted to maintain. Okay, similarly, I would like to go with forwarding agent, like to go with contact address. Okay, is here there? Let me check it.
CEO is there, sir, if you can come down.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
And then I would also like to have IP invoice presented by. Okay, and vendor, goods supplier, forwarding agent, CA, invoice presented by. Then there is something called ordering address, OA. OA, is it there? Yeah, it is here. Let's say all these things I wanted to map them under GNIS group. Okay, something like this. You can go and save this. Right? So once you save this, once you are done with it, the job is not yet done. Right? Under
So you have saved in a different transport request.
sorry, Andy?
You have saved in a different transport request. The request that is not for Nissan.
Okay, that's okay. Not a problem. It's getting saved as long as it is saved
Okay.
within one client, that is okay. Okay. After defining partner, permissible partner roles per account group, I have to work with something called as partner schema. Okay. I have to define my own partner schema, which I will be defining it here. Have a look at this. Okay. So here there are different partner schemas. I wanted to copy this L1, go with copy as GNIS. I wanted to specify vendor partner schema for Nissan vendors. Okay, go with copy all, save it. Okay, so I'm saving it here, and then you select this partner schema, go into partner functions in the procedure. So here, whatever you wanted, you can keep it. Whatever you do not wanted, you can remove them off. For example, CP, I may require ANZ, ON, OR, R1, I don't require them. So therefore, you can delete them. Okay, so let's say CP, OA, VN, IP, FA, CA, GS. These are the what you call the partner functions I wanted to maintain for my GNIS partner determination procedure, right? And then out of this, if you want to make a certain thing as mandatory, you can do so. Something like this. Okay, back once again, and then you see here, now assign partner schemas to what you call the purchasing documents, or assign partner schemas to accounting groups basically. So now you go with assign partner schema to accounting group. What's your accounting group? GMIS. Okay, you see here GNIS, and what is the partner schema? You could see here purchase organization, partner schema vendor sub-range, partner schema, okay, so plant level. So let's say what I have taken is this one. So I can go with GNIS partner schema, and then you can go and save it under Nissan changes here. So with this, once you are done with the assigning of partner schemas to account groups, okay, and then there is one more thing which is pending now. You have to define. In case if you are interested, you can define your own partner schemas. See a 0001, etc., etc. So in case if you wanted, you can define your own partner schema and then assign the partner schema to document type. Okay. So therefore, give me a moment. Partner schema to document type. So here, what you can do is, these are your purchase order document types, which we are yet to come, right? So that we will see it at later point of time. For which document, what is the um, partner schema to be triggered and all, that we will see it at later time. But for now, let's go and have a look at it. So display IMG or display this one, IMG screen. Now once I go back, oh, I'm sorry, it should be here. Under material management, purchasing, vendor master. Okay, so this is not required. Yeah, even no, it's not even here. Logistics general. This is where you have defined your what you call the account group, right? So therefore, what you can do here is business partner, vendors, control, okay, so define account group. So if you go into here for your GNIS, okay, so whatever you have defined, the partner schema GNIS should also come over here. Now, let me try creating a new vendor this time, /n xk01, okay. So now you can remove all of these things in case if you do not want it. Okay, something like this. Now I'm creating a vendor. Okay, so you specify the country and rest of the details. Okay, order currency INR, terms of payment. Oh my god, I've lost the power. I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me? Hello. Pavitra, I'm sorry and పవర్ పోయింది. సో ఇన్ఫార్మ్ చేయండి. సో నేను యాక్చువల్గా నాకు ఈరోజు 11:30కి మీటింగ్ ఉంది. సో ఐ థాట్ ఆఫ్ లీవింగ్ బై 11. I'll try to arrange my own mobile net connector and so that from tomorrow onwards we will have a continuous 2-hour session without having these power disruptions. Alright. Thanks, Sanjay. So ఈ ఫైల్ మీకు ఆఫీస్కి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత ఫార్వర్డ్ చేస్తాను, ఆ పోర్టల్ అప్లోడ్ చేస్తాను. కన్వే మై మెసేజ్ టు దెమ్ and we will meet tomorrow same 9:30 a.m. Thank you.